All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. No intro music. It is 4:11 a.m., March 11th, 2026. No intro music because it's pretty early and I want to keep it a little quiet. Sammy's sleeping and she's right next to me. She don't mind me podcasting. She's just like, I can't be blasting music and shit. So, as far as an update, we went to that movie. We went to the movies. We went and seen Send Help. It's a Sam Raimi film. Um, I love Sam Raimi. Like as far as Evil Dead, the original Spider Mans, um, Drag Me to Hell. Uh, this movie, awesome fucking movie. I ain't gonna lie. Like as far as like his types of movies, like normally he's on like the cheesy side. Um, this was super fucking well done with like a decent budget, like a fucking Hollywood budget. Um, it's like a comedy thriller. Um, of course, super gory as hell, super disgusting as hell. Tons of projecting bodily fluids. Um, just a badass fucking movie, and like where it was a more of a thriller rather than just like straight up horror like he usually does. Um, there was it just back and forth like a teeter totter. It's a basically the concept is a dickhead boss ends up abandoned on an island with my cat with this kind of like nerdy chick who works for him, an assistant, and yeah, like the power dynamic changes because turns out she's a huge fan of like Survivor shows and like basically like survivor books, like how to survive out in the wild and shit. So she knows exactly what she's fucking doing. Um, Go see it, dude. Like it's one of the few times that I've ever given a movie like a 10 out of 10. This movie was legit a 10 out of fucking 10. But yeah, man, every Tuesday they do $6 movie tickets of brand new movies. It's not like it's a select movie or something. It's you can pretty much see anything as long as it's not like as far as I know, as long as it's not like a private screening or a special screening or like a 3D movie. I don't think that would be $6. I think that would be normal price. But yeah, it's fucking awesome. It was either between that or Scream 7, and I'm like, no, I want to see the Sam Raimi movie. Like for one, I've never seen a Scream movie ever. I know people are gonna be in the comments like, what? I've never seen a Scream movie. But I've been a fan of Sam Raimi like basically since I seen Evil Dead and the Evil Dead series and Army of Darkness and stuff. Um, but yeah, we had a good little date. Got me a new belt. I needed a new belt. Mine was falling apart. So it's got like not studs but little metal balls on it. So I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you donate, I will send you a sticker. It helps the channel, helps pay for pens, papers, and honestly, it goes towards my bills too. Helps pay for electric, water. I believe that people should be paid for their work. So, I was going to cover 2 days ago. I believe it was the 9th. And forgive me if you're a woman. Forgive me. I apologize. It was Women's Day, I believe. And apparently a bunch of women were outside of Zorro Ranch. And if you don't know what Zorro Ranch is, because I've noticed that everyone's focus with the Epstein locations is everyone's like, oh, everyone talks about the island. No one ever talks about Zorro Ranch. And Zorro Ranch is like, I think the island was more for like pleasure and ritual. Obviously, ritual because like they had like the temple out there. They had like the fire pit outside the temple, like the weird sundial. There was a statue apparently of like a monkey. Some people are saying it's Hanube, I believe, which is like a monkey god. Actually, Obama during an interview talks about carrying one around in his pocket. Apparently, he's like a Hanube worshiper. I hope I'm saying that right. Maybe we'll do a deep dive on that one day because you guys know me. Like we kind of have like a little series going on of like talking about specific entities. We've done one on Belphegor. We've done one on Prometheus, aka Lucifer. We've done one on, I think, on Azazel. Yeah, Azazel, Hephaestus. We cover deities here. Deities, fallen angels, daemons, entities is honestly the best way to put it. So, what was I saying? Oh, everyone focuses on the island. No one really focuses on the ranch. So, I was gonna honestly just do like an episode talking about the protests that were going on outside of the Zorro Ranch. And then, after today's date, I came home and so my sleep's been kind of screwed up. Yesterday, or no, the day before yesterday, I ran on 4 hours. Then yesterday, I ran on 6 hours. So when I came home from that date, dude, I passed the fuck out. I slept for about 3 hours, you know. So, Zorro Ranch was a little more different than the island, in my opinion. Zorro Ranch was like basically where he was doing his experiments. A lot of people don't know that he was trying to basically kind of like some like Hitler type of shit, but the opposite, like with Jews, you know. He had all these women there and he wanted to impregnate them all with his seed and basically create like a whole race of little Epsteins, which imagine how fucking horrible that would be. Like one Epstein was bad enough, and then can you imagine just him brainwashing these children into being and teaching them the craft of what he does and his religion of Baal and Molech, you know? Just hundreds of little Epsteins. Like, the world would be fucked if they were as good as his father, you know? So, when I woke up from my little cat nap, I wake up to the Zorro Ranch being raided. So, I'm kind of glad I didn't report on the protest. Because now I can honestly, if we have time at the end of this, we can kind of talk about what happened in the protest, because it kind of ties in with this, and I have a theory. I'll try to remember to bring it up at the end if we run out of time, but so the ranch got fucking raided, and by raided I mean it's finally getting fucking searched. The community has been saying like, why is the ranch not been searched? Why is the ranch not been searched? And apparently, here's the thing, there's something weird. I had listened to an interview, and this wasn't from some kook, this was from somebody from the actual local law enforcement. It was a lady, I believe, and she was talking about they had a judge's search warrant, but it was for like one thing and not the other. It was either the house, or no, I think it was for the property, but not the house. It was like they could only search so much of the area. So it's aggravating because most likely whatever was in that fucking house is fucking gone, you know, and it will never see the light of day. It's kind of like what happened with the island. So same thing kind of happened with the island. Like they were able to search the island, and it might not have been, this is all coming off the top of my dome because I've been studying this shit, but something happened with either the island or Zorro Ranch where they had found documents and they knew the documents were there, like videos and DVDs and documents, and They were not allowed to take it by law. So they like arrested Epstein, but his crew was still at the house, the housekeepers and maintenance people and all that shit. And they were like basically begging them, please send us this shit. Now, if it got sent, which I think it got sent, but how much of it got sent and how much of it did Epstein, calling him on jail was like, do not send this, do not send this. You can send that one, that one's okay, I mean, there's no telling, or how much did they get rid of before they sent? Did they go through it themselves and go just destroying shit, It's all a fucking shit show because Zorro Ranch, we've been like screaming at the rooftops that Zorro Ranch should have been searched fucking years ago. But anyways, I guess better late than never. We should take a small win. I am curious what's to come out of this though. New Mexico Department of Justice begins search of Epstein's Zorro Ranch. So, a day after hundreds of protesters stood at the gates of the former Zorro Ranch demanding justice, so this is the next day. The theory I have is that, and I don't know, maybe I'm just being hopeful, but because there was all those protesters there, I'm guessing the local law enforcement was like, okay, we've got to do something. Like, these people are outside of Zorro Ranch protesting. We're going to be in the spotlight if we do nothing. We got to do something, So there's a part of me that goes, well, maybe does protesting work? Because here recently there was a professor, I can't remember, it was a professor that was on the Epstein list or something, and all these protesters went every single day out to the college and protested him, saying he needs to be fired, he needs to step down, something. And the dude eventually stepped down. So, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being hopeful and white-pilled or whatever, or taking the hopium. I mean, maybe protesting kind of does work. Because I've always said that protesting does not fucking work. But, maybe actual, genuinely peace protest. And I guess, too, like, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Am I just taking the hopium? Should we protest? Is it worth a damn? Because you got to admit, the day after, and they searched the place. All right, so it initiated a state of the late Jeffrey Epstein's sprawling southern Santa Fe County property. The search, which remains ongoing, means the state's recently reopened criminal investigation has gotten off the ground. It marks what some have called a long overdue attempt to recover evidence. Gee, you think? Oh, by the way, little side story, dude. So, I seen on video the other day, this dude in Santa Fe, a local radio station talk show host, was saying that he had an anonymous call of a woman who said that she was at Zorro Ranch, and one of the victims, she said that they're alleged, this is all alleged, so blah, blah, blah. I got to say that for legal reasons. She said that there are 2 girls that Epstein had allegedly killed and had buried on Zorro Ranch property. So, is this about those 2 little girls? But then I was watching Luke Radowski earlier, and he said that Jeffrey had pigs at Zorro Ranch. Because I seen he had cows. I didn't know he had pigs, but it doesn't surprise me, because what do pigs do? If you know anything about the mafia or Picton Pig Farm, y'all ever heard of Picton Pig Farm? That's a weird one. That one's allegedly tied in with Justin Trudeau and a famous serial killer. We'll have to do a whole deep dive on that. That one's fucking nuts, man. Picton Pig Farm. Look into that. It's true crime, but it ties in with conspiracy. It's creepy. Anyways, pigs eat people. Pigs will eat anything. And they even eat the bones. Like, they will chew on a bone till it breaks, and they will eat bones. Like, they will get rid of everything. The mafia has always had some weird hillbilly out in the middle of nowhere who has a bunch of pigs, and they specifically will be like, "Hey man, we'll pay you so much amount of money per month as long as you just let us, feed your pigs." You see what I'm saying? So yeah, pigs will make shit disappear. So what's the likelihood that I don't know. The girl says that they buried the two girls on the property. But they could have, after the first raid, or whatever, just Jeffrey getting arrested in general, they could have dug those bodies up and fed the remains to the pigs. As disgusting as this all sounds, I mean, it's Conspiracy Corner. We get pretty macabre here. We cover true crime and shit. We've covered some disgusting stuff on this channel. Hell, what do we do? We did an episode on Hunter S. Thompson having a romantic relationship with a cat. You're like, what? Go check the episode out. Go through my library. I've got like over 600 episodes. I've been doing this for a while. So, Epstein, the sex offender and disgraced financier, died in jail. No, he didn't. 2019 after facing federal charges of sex trafficking. While other properties he owned were investigated, the State Department of Justice could be the first thorough search of its kind at the Santa Fe County property. So, this is apparently the first search, which is disgusting. It's been how many years? So, like, I'm not trying to be dark or negative or like, but whatever was there. I mean, let's be realist, man. What is there now? It's probably all fucking gone, The bodies are probably gone if they were there. The paperwork, the DVDs, the documents, the flash drives. How much you want to bet that place is just clean the fuck out, We're searching the ranch. That means the ranch and buildings on the ranch. Department of Justice spokesperson Lauren Rodriguez said in a phone call. She declined to answer questions about what, if anything, the agency has found. The search, she said, is still underway. So as we speak, they are still searching Zorro Ranch and going through everything. I keep wanting to move this table. I don't know why. Like, I hope, like, the camera turns out all right. The New Mexico State Police and the Sandoval County Sheriff's Office has assisted in the effort, Rodriguez said in a statement. She did not immediately respond to questions about Sandoval County law enforcement, rather than the Santa Fe County's Sheriff's Office was participating in the search. The ranch's current owners, the Huffines family of Texas, gave consent for the search. Okay. We all need to do a deep dive on this Huffines family, because we all know that not some average Joe, someone unconnected to Epstein, would just end up with his ranch. I mean, come on. We're talking about the elites. They make sure that somebody in the club is getting that ranch. So I would love to know more about this Huffines family. I got at least a little bit of info pulled up. We'll have to check it out if we have time. If not, we'll do a deep dive on the Huffines family, because I bet you, how much you want to bet, there's some sketchiness, allegedly, with the Huffines family. And maybe they were the ones, allegedly, who cleaned out the ranch. I mean, it's not getting passed off to like an average Joe, me and you. Normal people who don't participate in demonic activities like this. It's got to be someone in the club. And I've never heard that family. I've never heard that name until now. I know nothing about the Huffines from Texas. which, who else is from Texas who's pretty sketchy? The Bush family. I wouldn't be surprised if they got Bush family connections, you know? So, Rodriguez said in the statement, Texas real estate developer and political candidate. Of course, he's a political candidate. He's a politician. Right there. All I had to do was read the next sentence. Don Huffines. We'll have to look into him. What party he is, and not that it's a party issue, but the Democrat, you have to admit. And I'm neither Democrat nor Republican, but you got to admit the Democrat are a little more evil than the Republicans, you know. Along with his family, purchased the ranch in 2023 and renamed it San Rafael Ranch. Raphael, Rafael. I wonder if that's a little nod to Raphael the angel. I can't remember. Is he fallen or is he unfallen? Hit me up in the comments if you're Catholic or something. The New Mexico Department of Justice appreciates, and people are like, well, why does that matter? These people are occultists. And everyone, not everyone, but the mainstream always leaves that out. The temple, the statues, the Yakim and Boaz pillars inside of the temple with the bookshelf. We're going to do a whole episode on that one day. We're going to keep covering Epstein probably for the next several months. I'm just going to be honest. This channel is going to turn mostly into an Epstein channel because I, in my opinion, it's the most important story right now. Not saying that I won't cover anything else, but for the most part, this is going to be the main focus. Yeah, these people are occultists, so that's why I'm wondering, Raphael. The New Mexico Department of Justice appreciates the cooperation of the current property owners in granting access for the search and extends its thanks to the ranch staff for their professionalism, Rodriguez says. During a rally Sunday at the site, protesters at one point chanted a demand for the Attorney General to take action. Raul Torres, get us justice, they said. Men wearing masks and all-black clothing guarded the gates. That's kind of weird. Were they workers or... I mean, if they're wearing masks, they're probably workers. Like, we don't want motherfuckers knowing we work here, you know? I bet you it is good money, though. Like, I'm not saying I would work for Epstein, but if you were just like a night guard, just guarding the property, it's still scummy, you know? But I guarantee you that's fucking bank, you know? I'll pay you $50 an hour, you know? There was no public evidence. Federal authorities searched Zorro Ranch after Epstein's death. Okay, so it was issues at... They hadn't even searched Zorro then, ever. Okay, so at the beginning of the video, I told you guys my memories are not the best. Everything I said was at the island then. Okay. And or his other locations. So that was one thing I was going to get into. Not only did he have the island, he had a schoolhouse. I kid you not. Don't worry, it wasn't active. He either bought, I think he bought it for like super cheap from a friend, you know, for like $1 or something crazy. He bought an old schoolhouse in New York. He had a house in Miami, or not Miami, but Florida in general. I know that. He wanted Mar-a-Lago, which I think is Miami. Or no, he didn't want Mar-a-Lago. Sorry. Trump was in Mar-a-Lago. Epstein had a place down in Florida, and they were fighting for a property in Florida, somewhere in Florida. And that's kind of where their feud had started, supposedly. Because they were friends. Get over it, Republicans. Q-tards, you know. And then he had another place in Paris, France. Wouldn't surprise me if he had a place in Tel Aviv too, you know, just saying. So they had never even searched it after his death, even as the FBI carried on high-profile raids of his private Caribbean island and New York City townhouse. The New Mexico Attorney General's office closed an earlier investigation into Zorro Ranch in 2019 at the request of the U.S. Attorney's Office for Southern District of New York, which was putting together a federal case against Epstein. The state agency reopened its investigation last month. Okay, so who is this New Mexico Attorney General's office? Because they closed the investigation into Zorro Ranch in 2019. I would love to know who the Attorney General in New Mexico in 2019 was. That's fucking bullshit. That dude's got some shit. His hard drives need to be fucking checked. If anyone knows, hit me up in the comments. I can Google it. We're going to have to look into that motherfucker. The New Mexico Attorney General in 2019. Fuck that noise. That dude's sketchy. Why would you shut that down? Unless you got some connections. The plot thickens. So Albuquerque-based radio host Eddie Aragon, who has been following the Zorro Ranch case closely for years, said in a phone interview Monday that he states the investigation is years too late. I think we all agree. It's all just a big to-do. I mean, stuff that should have been done 6-7 years ago. So what are they going to find? He said. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm a little black-pilled. Aragon, it's crazy. His last name's Aragon. Aragon has received an anonymous email in 2019. Allegedly, 2 girls were buried near Epstein's property and forwarded the messages to the FBI. The writer claimed to be a former staff member at Zorro Ranch. Okay, so it was an email instead of a phone call, and she was a staff member instead of a victim. Like I said, Daddy ain't perfect doing shit off the cuff, but I remembered hearing about that. So there you go. Both died by strangulation during rough fetish sex. The anonymous email said the writer purported to have videos showing Epstein with underage girls. See, this is what bothers me. I'm super open-minded when it comes to sex. I got like a couple rules. 1, as long as it's between 2 consenting adults. Whatever your kink is, cool. 2, as long as it doesn't involve children. And 3, as long as it doesn't involve animals. You follow those 3 rules, I'm cool with that. So he already broke 2 of the rules. Strangling them to death. I mean, these are the types of monsters we're dealing with. Like, I like some weird shit. Like, I mean, you guys know me. I'm an open book, man. I'm into like ass eating, whether it's getting my ass ate or eating another ass. That's my fetish. That's my jam. If I'm in a relationship, you got to be at least cool with eating my ass, dude. If not, it ain't gonna work. You might be the coolest person on earth, but that's my fetish. That's what I need. But strangling someone during sex till they die. Two little girls. 2 girls, not women, girls. Not that it makes a difference. You shouldn't be strangling someone till death, but that's fucking nuts, dude. I don't know. And just when I read that, like, I'm a very visual person. When I read, like, I'm like, it's like a movie playing in my head. Which I'm like that without even just reading. Like, I could be listening to music and it's a movie playing in my head. I can see everything. Even with my eyes open, it's like I can see everything. When I was a kid, I used to daydream in class, and it would be like, I'd literally be drooling, like, and it would just be like a movie just playing in my head of like whatever type of scenario I would daydream, So like, I literally got like, it was like a horror movie of just Jeffrey like, just murdering someone, strangling him to death, while fucking them. Like, it's dark, man. I don't know, and people are like, oh, these people are demons, they're not humans, and it's like, I disagree. I think these people are humans, and it really, not saying they can't be possessed by demons, but it really shows you how depraved and disgusting human beings can be. Not that I'm saying we need to become nihilist and give up on the human race or something, because there's beautiful people out there too, but this is why, like, because I grew up, my mom was a big true crime fan on watching it on like cable TV in the 90s and early 2000s and shit. So I mean, I grew up watching this shit with my mom, so I kind of already knew that humans could be vile and evil. Um, but I don't know. We'll wrap it up there. We're definitely gonna have to dig deeper. The plot thickens. I hope they find something damning. But knowing that family, that Don, what was his, Huffines or whatever, is a politician, that does not give me much hope. I guarantee you he's in the club. No one would receive that ranch without being in the club. In the club. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope I didn't bum you out towards the end, but I mean, it is what it is. This is the dark night. This is the darkness we're dealing with. You know. I may or may not put out another episode. Please like, share, and subscribe, and y'all have a good night.